Hello guys, how are you? And for today's story is one of my favorites because before I also wish I was a princess. I hope you enjoy it. The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a very handsome young prince. One day he decided it was time to get married, but he did not want to marry just any woman. He wanted to marry a real princess. The young prince combed the kingdoms of the world looking for a real princess. He found maidens pretty and plain, tall and small, but none one captured his heart. Somehow none of the maidens seemed right, and somehow he was never quite sure if they were real princesses. And so the young prince returned to his castle, still alone, still without his real princess. Then one stormy night, a loud and frantic knock was heard on the castle door. The old king opened the door, and there stood a pretty young woman, all wet and dripping from the rain. She might have been a real princess, but with her drenched and shabby clothes, it was really hard to tell. The old king led her out of the rainstorm and into the warmth of the royal dining hall. There, before the whole royal family, she said, "I am a real princess." The prince could hardly believe that the drenched and shabby young woman was a real princess. The old queen only kept quiet and thought, "We shall soon find out." That same night, the queen ordered the servants to prepare a special bed for their royal visitor. 20 thick mattresses were laid on top of the bed. On top of that, 20 quilts filled with feathers were laid as well. And underneath it all was a tiny pea, placed there by the queen. "Now we shall find out if you are a real princess," the queen said to herself. With that done, the visitor was tucked into bed to rest for the night. The following morning, the queen called on the young girl. "How did you sleep, my dear?" the queen asked. "Dreadfully, your highness, most dreadfully," the girl answered wearily. "I hardly slept a wink." Hearing this, the queen asked, "But what was the matter, my dear? Was your room not warm enough?" "Oh no," the young woman replied. "The room was nice and warm, thank you. It was the bed. There was something hard in it. And now I am black and blue all over." At that moment, the queen knew that she had found a true princess, because nobody but a true princess was tender enough to feel a tiny pea underneath 20 mattresses and quilts. The prince was filled with joy when he received the news. At last, his search was over. He had found a real princess. The queen had the pea taken away so the princess could get her rest. Not long after, the young prince and the real princess were married, and they lived happily ever after. The story of the princess and the pea teaches us that we cannot really know a person by just looking at his clothes or his looks, because only by taking a little more time and making a little more effort can we know a person's true qualities. Condensed from the original tale of Hans Christian Andersen. Hope you find your true prince or princesses also soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.